God's made himself real to me several times throughout my life, just undeniably. Somebody can't talk me out of what I believe. And I started out thinking I'm getting closer and closer to God. But as it went on, I felt more and more distance from God. I was so grateful that it didn't take a crisis or a hard thing, and that God, saw us getting off track and doing that, and he reined us back in. And it was so miraculous how it was the same night, same time, same hours, working on both of us when we were on different journeys, but connected in a lot of ways. I was so enticed, easily deceived, in that those drugs alter your mind, and it starts really innocent, and it comes disguised as good, as light, and it's not really. I had two parents. They stayed married my whole life. There was 8 of us kids. They raised us in love and in the church and Christian school, and all that was really important. Got married really young. Got my girlfriend pregnant in high school. Started a family really young. By the time I was 23, I had 4 kids. I went through a divorce in 21. I had a little rough patch and down and lost. One of my buddies was struggling with depression and stuff. He tried mushrooms, and it supposedly helped him a lot with his depression. I watched a lot of TV documentaries on the stuff. It was kind of a struggle with my beliefs, if they're okay or not. And I'm like, well, I'll try them and kind of be the judge of that for myself. I tried them and had a really good experience. Had a lot of self-reflection. Basically, my buddy was a psychiatric nurse, and we're sitting in the hot tub chatting, and he was just really burned out. And he's like, dude, I want to do something different, and I feel like I can grow these things. I studied from a mycologist, and I think this can really help people. He spun me the pitch and laid out the plan, and I said, I'll do it. And so I backed him on it. It started off really good. We thought we were doing the work of God. We thought we were helping people. They're stopping becoming alcoholics and becoming more nice and loving people. I was searching after God, but in a different way than I was raised to. A different way than the church was. And I thought I was on to something new. When you take some of these drugs, you almost feel like it's a spiritual portal, like into the spiritual realm. And I very much knew that I could go dark and demonic or new agey or whatever, but I was very cautious of that. And I was still going to church the whole time, and I wasn't hiding it. I was open with my kids. Everything was going good. And I noticed my buddies started getting kind of lost in the shamanistic side of it. From my perspective, it seemed like his life was starting a downward spiral, and then I got to look at my own life. I started getting convicted on this stuff. August 14th, sitting here at City Church, Dwayne Vanderclock was preaching on the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, what it is and what it isn't. And it really hit home and was speaking to where I was at, because I feel like I was dancing in both of those kingdoms. That night, turn off the lights, laying in bed, going to sleep, God was just speaking to me and like, Andrew, you gotta change the direction of your life, and you gotta give up this stuff, and you gotta go all in with me. If you don't listen to me, you're not gonna wanna know what's around the corner for you and how fast this can turn. And then all of a sudden, stone sober, wide awake, I get this vision. It was like I was on psychedelics, but I was sober. And I saw this big sphere. The voice said, imagine this is your spirit, the life I created you with. And I'm just watching it and listening to this voice, and all of a sudden the ball of energy just starts getting all murky with like black ink and stuff, consuming it. Now you see what's happening here. This is all the stuff that you're dabbling with that is not of me, from me, and it's gonna ruin your life and suck the life out of you. And I'm like, all right, you got my attention, I'm done. When I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna tell my kids I'm done with, psychedelics. I'm done with this. I'm going a new direction. I'm getting rid of all these substances that I've been leaning on and making some big changes. And I prayed before I went to bed, like, God, please have this conviction and this be as powerful to me tomorrow morning as it is right now. Sure enough, woke up. First thing I did was call my buddy. I call him up, 6:45. He answers the phone. He said, dude, the craziest thing happened to me last night. We got to talk. And I said, me too. We got to talk. This guy, my bud, he was not into church. He was very scorned and bitter from church. He was very much into the New Age stuff. I said, go ahead, tell me what happened. He was on some psychedelics, and he had this crazy thing and vision and manifestation in his room or whatever, and basically he called out to Christ. He called out to Christ, and Christ came. The darkness and the demons fled out of there. It rattled him hard. He told me, he's like, dude, I'm done. And I told him my thing, and it was just like crazy confirmation. And like the next week that followed after that was us just getting together. He was purging all the New Age stuff out of his home, because his home basically looked like a Hindu shrine. So he was spent all night purging his house and getting rid of it, and we ended up shutting down the business, flushing stuff down the toilet, burning whatever wouldn't go down the toilet. Totally got set free of it. Very, very quickly after that, my joy returned. My relationships with my girlfriend, with my kids, with my family, like everything just started getting better. I'm just excited to be set free from the deception of what that stuff is and see what God has for me. My name is Andrew Eerdmans, and this is my story.